Observe the shear force of
Are you fucking doing this?
because
Spider out of 10 work.
nice. I'll give you that one. How many shots like that are you gonna take?
I don't know. How many do you have to give? Looks like this cat still has plenty of scratch.
I know that hurt. Don't make me do that again.
I'll make you do it all night, lover.
Oh, goody. Another round to kick the spider.
Come on. You know you love this as much as I do.
Well, I think I've had my fill of psychotic kitty cats.
You never know what this might do. On your feet, sweetie. I'm just getting into this.
You have no...
Oh.
Whoa. No!
Oh, there he is!
Dad, what are you doing here?
Mr. Big Time Capital One Bank guy.
The international super spy James Bond is certainly no stranger to video games. However, it would be fair to say that many Bond games have often focused on more familiar shoot-'em-up action spectacle while ignoring the rest of what makes 007 so much fun. There's so much potential for a Bond video game to really lean into those stealthy and socially charismatic encounters that many Bond games have often focused on more familiar shoot-'em-up action spectacle while ignoring the rest of what makes 007 so much fun. There's so much potential for a Bond video game to really lean into those stealthy and socially charismatic encounters that the films capture so well. And that's what makes Hitman developer IO Interactive's long-awaited turn towards the James Bond franchise so appealing.
That's it, mate. Silent but fast.
Bringing the Hitman series' social stealth and open-ended design for its take on James Bond, 007 First Light has the makings of an incredibly ambitious attempt at a fully realized spy story starring the iconic character. After spending some time with the opening hours of this new James Bond origin story, I came away feeling more confident that the Hitman devs were the right team to take on this reboot, and they may just deliver on the most original take for Bond's breakout adventure.
It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
My hands-on time focused primarily on 3 missions. The opening mission set in Iceland, the MI6 training set in Malta, Italy, and a spectacle-driven infiltration and escape set at a ritzy gala in London's Kensington Borough. As a modern origin story, 007 First Light focuses on Bond's early days as an MI6 recruit and on the decisive missions that grant him his status as a true 00 secret agent.
Listen carefully. You have less than 1% chance of success. Now stand down.
I'll take those odds.
Bond.
Kicking off with an explosive mission in Iceland, Bond encounters a ruthless organization stealing secret technology at a remote facility, setting off a global chase to find those responsible. After being recruited into the agency, Bond partners up with reimagined takes on Q, Moneypenny, and other original characters who guide him and help him earn his place within MI6. There's been a variety of tones across the Bond franchise, ranging from gritty spy thrillers to more over-the-top comical spectacles. From my hands-on time with First Light's opening missions, it certainly lands more so in the slick and punchy style of both the Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig eras of Bond. But as a game, First Light is a balance between IOI's Hitman series and its focus on choice and consequence gameplay, within a structured, spectacle-driven narrative similar to Naughty Dog's Uncharted series.
Who do you work for?
It's a very character-focused take on a stealth-driven action-adventure game, which packs in a lot of personality and charm, showing how Bond came into his own as a spy, even when his attempts don't go so smoothly. This aspect also comes through in Bond's approach to engagements, which really sells his status as a well-trained yet still impulsive 20-something spy who can make the most of every opportunity. The training stage in Malta, Italy served as a good primer to the flow of First Light's take on stealth action. I gave this stage 2 attempts to see how much it would change with my choices, which was a good way to comprehend how the balance between stealth and combat works. Generally, the goal is to avoid suspicion from foes, and if you fail, you'll need to contain the situation.
Nice.
If things escalate and suspicion reaches a boiling point, guards may become hostile and even call in reinforcements. However, each scuffle with enemies is an isolated encounter, helping keep engagements from spiraling out of control for the mission. Firearms are often a last resort, and that's where melee combat fits in as the preferred choice for taking out enemies. It does well to showcase how brutal and quick Bond can be in taking down foes. However, I did feel it was a bit cumbersome to find the flow of fistfights, especially with multiple enemies coming in. First Light is a spy game through and through, and I certainly had options at my disposal. In addition to ruthless aggression with Bond's fists and firearms, he's also got a handy Q-Watch and Q-Vision gadgets. In a similar vein to Watch Dogs, you can perform quick hacks and dismantle objects in the environment to create setups or distractions. This opened up some amusing moments where I could use a broken fax machine or radio to draw a target in, then either knock them out or lock them in a room to keep them out of sight. However, it should be stated that First Light takes a more punchy, momentum-driven approach to its stealth action, as opposed to the clockwork world design and slower pace of the Hitman series. This means you likely won't stay in locations too long to examine character routines or come up with Rube Goldberg solutions, as with Agent 47. I was also let down to see that you couldn't perform some familiar stealth actions, like picking up bodies and hiding them from view. But the more I played, the more I got used to First Light's particular take on stealth action, which is really about making a beeline to your target and getting in and out as quickly as possible. The core missions I played had a fairly guided approach, yet they still offered plenty of opportunities to find my own way to clear the objectives. The mission set in the Gala event was particularly fun and intriguing, featuring a more open-ended design that showcased First Light's tone and gameplay structure to full effect. To infiltrate the upper floors to secure valuable intel about a key target, this is where the Hitman influence kicks in, and you're given a different set of ways to infiltrate the facility in ways that tap into social engineering or even some sneaky brute forcing.
Hang on.
In my attempt to eavesdrop, I overheard a phone conversation with a PR agent complaining about a journalist late for their appointment.
She might be able to help me here.
Assuming their identity, I then talked my way into the meeting, but I first had to get a press pass and a camera to look the part. What initially seemed like clear-cut objectives quickly went sideways when the real journalist showed up and had already checked in,
I think there must be a mistake. Mike's already checked in.
leaving me to improvise another way up. I was able to pull that off by listening to a guard complaining about the current state of security in the building. This opened the door to using one of Bond's most impressive and valuable skills, his quick wit and charm.
Oi, have you seen a woman? One of the suspects. I saw her crawl out a window and followed her this way.
With the bluff skill, which requires action points to pull off, you can actually trick enemies and even disengage hostiles from your suspicious behavior. The power of this skill is improved when you read up on intel or gain knowledge from the environment, which lets you leverage the information to make an in with the NPCs in the level. It essentially turns those familiar Bond quips and one-liners into a gameplay maneuver, leading to slick, hilarious moments where social engineering is in full effect.
Can I help you? Security. Don't mind me. Just doing a quick sweep.
One of the more memorable moments from bluffing was during a tense stealth sequence. After knocking out a guard, another one on patrol caught me shortly after. I quickly activated the bluff skill and convinced him that the unconscious guard had suffered a medical emergency and had fallen on his own. The deception worked, and the guard disengaged from me and went to examine the knocked out guard, which gave me time to dispose of him as well. Eventually, I was able to sneak my way up into the upper levels, which led to an exciting boss encounter against one of First Light's recurring henchmen. Without a firearm, I had to use stealth attacks and my gadgets to sneak around and set up traps to get the best of him. But in keeping with the need to adapt, the boss learns from his mistakes and will avoid or outright deactivate any similar traps in adjoining rooms. Not long after, I encountered a more combat-driven encounter against tactical officers, and that's when First Light's full-on combat phase, known as License to Kill, engaged. In keeping with Bond's status as a spy, combat is often necessary in certain situations, and you'll have to use whatever methods you can to take out enemies, lethal or non-lethal. Compared to previous Hitman games, First Light features some fantastic action mechanics, and the core shooting feels especially great when in the moment. I had some particularly cool moments where I tossed an empty submachine gun at an enemy's head before pummeling him to the ground, and when I shot a weapon out of an enemy's hand and grabbed it out of the air to fight him off with it. Closing out the mission in style, I made my exit from the gala and into another firefight before boarding a garbage truck and barreling down the streets of London in reckless fashion, which totally gave me the same vibes from GoldenEye's iconic tank chase scene.
Looks a bit tight.
The missions I got to play were set in the main story campaign, which also offers some freedom between missions to explore. However, much like the story and characters, the goals and objectives are closely tied to the larger narrative, which, according to the developers, is why they wanted a more focused take on Bond's stealth action. However, one aspect of First Light that aims to give players more freedom is the TACSIM mode. While I wasn't able to play it during the preview, this side activity lets you engage with standalone missions and scenarios based on full missions from the game, with some twists. In a similar vein to the Hitman series, these simulations are open-ended and allow players to use whatever methods, and outfits, they want to accomplish objectives. I think this mode can potentially be a great outfit for players looking to cut loose and to try to push First Light's open-ended approach to missions, and I'm very excited to see what sort of hijinks that skilled players can get into. It's been many years since the last proper 007 game, and the larger Bond franchise seems to be in a state of reassessment. And that certainly puts IO Interactive's latest in a great position to deliver an exciting new Bond game cleverly. With 007 First Light's character-first approach to delivering a fully realized Bond adventure, it's so far got the charm, wit, and raw energy to make this spy thriller one to keep an eye on as its May release fast approaches. For more on the latest upcoming games, check out our recent previews of The Blood of Dawnwalker and Hell Let Loose Vietnam. And of course, for everything... The international super spy James Bond is certainly no stranger to video games. However, it would be fair to say that many Bond games have often focused on more familiar...
The announcement of 007 First Light was exciting for multiple reasons.
Everyone! Welcome to MI6. To succeed in the 00 program, agents must understand a set of rules that will grant them all possible chances to survive. So, take a deep breath, listen up, and you may learn how to get the job done and return to HQ in one piece.
One Piece.
The first rule is to know how to blend in. Keeping a low profile while navigating a crowd will help you find different paths to your objective.
Ken Banks, penetration tester.
Pay attention to the surroundings, eavesdrop on conversation, and talk your way in with the help of unexpected allies.
Relax, fellas. He's with me.
Once trespassing, slip past your opponents unnoticed, or use takedowns to silently get rid of them. When confronting a whole group of enemies, you may choose a gentler approach.
And hut! Rob Minkley, Crux Magazine.
Bluffing is an art that will serve you well, whether getting caught red-handed...
Over here! Looks like a trust fall gone wrong.
Or to simply pass through a room under enemies' noses.
Boy, you lads got a faulty coffee machine.
Bluffing consumes instinct and won't be available if a more experienced enemy is nearby. In this scenario, you won't get far without the appropriate gear. Therefore, the second rule is to always come prepared.
Well, what are we waiting for?
MI6 will keep its doors open for you between missions, giving you the chance to catch up with familiar faces, gather intel, and prepare for your next move.
So, your name is Moneypenny.
Now let's not get carried away, James.
QLab, on the lower level, will give you access to a wide range of gadgets.
I like it. Don't change a thing.
Each tool is designed to go unnoticed on the field, but help with maximum efficiency.
Right, follow me. I have something for you.
The Q-Lens will highlight useful information about opportunities and hackable devices. Your Q-Watch should be able to activate these to divert attention, deactivate cameras, or get rid of unsuspicious enemies in creative ways. The dot phone can quietly move enemies out of the way. The smoke pod, a timeless classic, will block visibility at short range. The modified earbuds will produce a flash of light to stun opponents. Other gadgets will be developed in due time and will help you stay creative in all circumstances.
Who do you work for? Take the shot!
Knowing how to improvise is a matter of life and death in the midst of action. Any object at disposal could prove useful to put an enemy's ideas back in their place. The same could be said of guardrails, electrical panels, or any surface hard enough to act as a weapon. Under heated circumstances, MI6 grants you a license to kill, allowing for even more possibilities to get rid of hostiles. In these situations, any weapon could be used as long as you manage to obtain it. Switch between different playstyles to catch your attackers off guard, and don't forget to return what you borrowed once out of ammo. Some enemies will be harder to defeat, and gadgets will help you get rid of soldiers' armors, stun tenacious leaders, and defuse grenades with the simple press of a button from your watch. Focus training will also give you an edge over your enemies. Dilate time and incapacitate their legs, or disarm them with the precision of a marksman. All of these skills might be trained between missions in Taxim, the department of Dr. Selena Tan.
Welcome to my dream factory.
Taxim will put your skills to the test through multiple types of challenges, each with its own specific rules that will pitch your performance against those of other agents from around the world. Overcoming challenges will earn you experience points, which you can spend on gadget upgrades, new firearms, and unique outfits to defeat enemies in style. And remember, at IO Interactive, the launch of a game is only the start. New
seen all that before. Gameplay.
I'm not loving the odds.
I've had worse.
In that case.
Well, what are we waiting for? No son of God.
One last trailer, y'all. Xppreacts is reacting.
I'm going after him. Make him call off the attack.
I think I reacted to it, but it didn't save the file, so I'm gonna upload this.
Go to the security room, first floor.
And you are?
Rob Minkley.
He's with me.
Come on, Moneypenny. If I lose the trail, we'll never know who they're working for.
Oi, you lads got a faulty coffee machine?
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
You're not. Damien, meet.
Bond. James Bond.
If 009 slips through our fingers, we're the last line of defense.
Someone just tried to kill me.
Tell me you caught him.
Any sage advice?
Play nice.
Always.
Here we go. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this. Like and subscribe, y'all. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Sorry this has to be longer than it has to be. I just forgot to to record. I forgot to record like a month ago. I think when I first reacted to it. This game is excellently great. I mean, you know, it's awesome. It's 10 out of 10 for me. I might play it at some point on Xbox. It's gonna be on Xbox and PlayStation 5. And I'm probably PC if they have it on there. I have to look, but if they do, they do. And 100%, this is a game like that's never been out and this has never been done before. I mean, you've seen the classics, James Bond and 007. Yeah, you've seen all the classics. So I mean, I played it a little bit ago. You know, like. Let's just say go. Like, let it go. Let's go. Let's just put it like that. Let's just place it like.